It's another morning. I'm saying my first words and I'm trying to get myself energized and woken up. Um, okay. Okay. I've got my peppermint tea with me. Thumbnail time. Cheers, folks. Ah, cheers. How sweet it is. Well, actually, it's sour. I actually have peppermint tea with a little lemon in here, and that's kind of like soury. So I decided not to put honey in here. I put a little tiny. You ever see those little plastic bottles? They're like little, looks like a teddy bear, and you squirt it. Just not even a teaspoon. Just a little bit. But I'm kind of like afraid to use too much sugar these days. I'm trying to get off the sugar, so like I used to many years ago. The first person I see here is back bacon and beer. So here we go. Boom. Good morning. 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 So there we go for that. And yeah, some mornings are much more chipper or more full of life. But sometimes I find that these get-togethers in the morning, these get-togethers in the morning actually help me wake up a bit, get more energized. Ugh, I blew my nose about 5 or 6 times. It's still kind of stuffed up. Oh, hello, Mike. And what is on your mind this morning? Huh? Good morning from the Great Garden State. Is that New Jersey? Is that New Jersey? What do I know? I think it is. Uh, and ooh, hello everybody. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, Tom. Good to see you here. Very nice photo post with the Help LP. It's great being a first generation Beatles fan. Yeah, I really, Tom, I don't really know what year. Unfortunately, they didn't date the pictures. I'm guessing I'm about, how old do I look at that picture? 5 or 6? I don't know. That picture's probably taken in 1967 or 68. Even though I'm holding up the Help album, it's not 65. But I am a first generation fan, and again, not because I feel like I have to be or I want to be. Oh, I'm desperately clinging to wanting to be that first generation fan. I always happily called myself a second generation fan because I mostly got into the Beatles hardcore in the 70s, right? About 75, 76. But I had a friend of mine at the time who said to me, actually, you were a first generation fan. And I said, well, how do you figure that out? I'm a second generation fan. How do you figure I'm a first? I didn't care if I was a second, third, fourth, whatever it is, it is. Whatever you are, you are. But he said to me, you liked the Beatles when you were like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. There you were, you're standing with the Help album, 6 years old. You watched those Beatle cartoons. You loved the Beatles. You knew who they were. You had some records. You had 45s, and you used to play those 45s on your little toy Mickey Mouse record player. My mommy, I like the Beatles. You were a first generation fan. So I never really thought about that. I thought, some people think the only way you can be a first generation fan is if the requirement is you have to have seen them on the Ed Sullivan Show, which I did not. Um, they think that's the requirement for being a first generation fan, or you have to be like a teenager. You have to be like a 13, 14 year old, 12, 13, 14 years. You're gonna be older. Anyway, thank you for considering me a first generation fan. I guess I am. Okay, definitely New Jersey for that Garden State. Yes, indeed. I'm calling for an immediate stop of all future remixing of the catalog for the early 62 to 64 material. I appreciate your thoughts on that. Me, I'm calling for a full speed ahead. Build up the steam. Let's go. I can't wait to get that early stuff because I think such a good job was done with the Red album. Even though, I have my things about it that I'm not too thrilled about. Good morning, Augusta, Georgia. Robbie. Mr. Lennon Axel, what's up? Oh, is that what they say? Good morning, good. I always go, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Whatever. As John once sang, I have nothing to say, but that's okay. Good morning, good morning. Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, very interesting. Famous movies I couldn't get through. I'll start with Raging Bull. I don't like Raging Bull very much. I liked half of it. I think I liked the first half better than the second half, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm not big on that. My problem with the red and blue release is you ask, okay, I'll tell you. No Real Love or Free as a Bird would have been nice if included on the third LPs of the remixes. Yes, a lot of people feel that way. I would have been fine with me, but I think I would have. My whole thing is I would just I'd rather Free as a Bird and Real Love get remixed. I'd like them to be remixed and you know spruced up in the sound department, like Now and Then is. And I'd like it to be released maybe as an EP, 3-song EP or something like that. Do you ever think we'll get a special edition of Magical Mystery Tour? I certainly hope so. I think we need it. And Magical Mystery Tour is kind of a small amount of songs. So if they could put Yellow Submarine together with Magical Mystery Tour and make a little package that way, I think that would work out just great. Okay, this guy nearly puked upon hearing the first disc. Well, I disagree. I almost shot my load on it. Too much information. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to think. That's an exaggeration. People are gonna say, "Oh, hey, what can I tell you? Have some fun here." I'm trying to think. What's the opposite? If you say you puked on the red disc because you hated it so much, what's the opposite? That's why I came up with that. What's the opposite of puke? Anyway, I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny. Let's let that go. Hello, Alan. Doing good. Well, doing good for early in the morning. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Okay, I was listening to the Red and the Blue album again last night. The new 2023 Hey Bulldog is actually really good. Yeah, I don't know, Woodland. I think the new 2023 Hey Bulldog is much better than the original release back in the late 60s. However, I don't think it's as good in my opinion, as the 1999 Yellow Submarine song track with the blue cover. Hopefully, you will continue to do your movie channel. Holidays coming is traditionally when studios release new DVDs and theatrical films. I will definitely be continuing my movie channel. Definitely. If people don't know and want to check out my movie channel, please do. Its title is Mayo's Offbeat Movies. So, because a lot of the movies I enjoy are offbeat. And for example, here we go. Right here. Subscribe to Mayo's Offbeat Movies. There it is right there on the bottom. And just in case you want to see what the title is in writing, you can see it right there. Subscribe to Mayo's Offbeat Movies. Okay, let's get that banner off. Boom, there you go. I don't want to keep that running all day. Good morning, Lingo. I was 9 years old when the Beatles got me, right? My older brother took me with him to purchase the re release of the Red Album on cassette in '93 in his Trans Am. Ever since then, I was in love with the Beatles. See, the Beatles come in all ways. Some people got into the Beatles because of the Beatles rock band game. Some people got into the Beatles because they watched the Beatles anthology. Some people got into the Beatles because they watched Yellow Submarine. Some people got into the Beatles because of the Love Project. There's all kinds of paths to the Beatles, and I hope this new Red and Blue album from 2023 is going to bring a lot of younger people to the Beatles also. The music video is kind of better than the song now and then. Well, I think the song is good. I think the video and the song is great. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I like the song on its own, but I definitely think the video enhances it and makes it better. Oh, thank you. We agree on this now. Oh, okay. So you like the new 8 days a week. Woodland Goblin at first wasn't too keen on the new 8 days a week. I told him I really liked it, and maybe he's I don't know, been listening a little differently. I love those drum fill things that Ringo does on that version. It's getting difficult to remember which Beatle mix is better, especially without the A, B, C, A, and D shootouts. I saw a trailer for yes, I definitely saw the trailer for the new slasher horror movie Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to it. I wonder when it comes out. When does it come out? I'm not really sure. It should come out soon because it's almost Thanksgiving. Cheers, folks. Peppermint tea with lemon. I think I put too much lemon in it. It kind of gets in the way of the peppermint taste for me. And see, George got into the Beatles when he saw the movie Ferris Bueller, Twist and Shout. Wow, you watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You heard the song Twist and Shout, and that was enough to make you a Beatle fan. Here's Jack Daniels, who got into the Beatles through the One Plus compilation. Wow. Everybody, if you let me know. Tomorrow is the day the Thanksgiving movie comes out. Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm getting together with my friend Anthony tomorrow. We're supposed to get together. I won't be seeing the Thanksgiving movie Friday. Maybe I can see it Saturday. Go by myself and see it on Saturday. Maybe. I want Apple to release the Beatles at Shea Stadium and live at Budokan. The Shea Stadium footage on Now and Then is amazing. Well, we always talk about this. It would be nice for them to do a Shea Stadium release, as I always say. I would like to see a Shea Stadium release, not just a concert, but I'd like to see a documentary film. I'd like to see the Beatles, traveling in helicopter, looking at the city. Then you'd like to see all the shots of the people, fans arriving and buying their tickets and buying their memorabilia, their merch. And then, they have all this footage and more that we probably have never seen, archival footage I'm sure they got. But we've seen a lot of this. And then you can also have the opening acts, the opening bands. And then you see the Beatles when they get to Shea Stadium, they're in their dressing rooms, I guess down in the dugouts. They have their dressing rooms downstairs and they're opening gifts and things and mugging for the camera, and then they come on and do their concert. They can make a nice release of that. As far as the Budokan stuff, the Japanese stuff, I'm worried about that because they don't play well. I'm worried about the reputation of that, but maybe they can get away with it. I'll take anything we can get. So see, this is interesting. You became a Monkees fan first. I know some people were Monkees fans first, and then they became. There are people like that who became or Monkey fans first. Definitely. This question has been asked over and over again. Will Paul ever play Now and Then live? Who knows for sure? I could see. No, I wouldn't put anything past Paul. He does a lot of stuff like that. I don't think would want him to do Now and Then. But if he did do Now and Then, I'm sure it'd be a crowd pleaser. I'm sure people would definitely like to hear it. Now, I don't agree with this. A lot of people say they need to lower the screaming. Well, you can lower it a little bit, but guys, part of the Beatles' appeal in the '60s, when they were touring, well, I say appeal, was that it was Beatlemania. It was crazy, screaming girls everywhere. I'm glad that when you listen to the Hollywood Bowl, that you do get to hear the screaming, because that's part of the wall of screams should be part of it. But luckily, with the Hollywood Bowl, you can still hear the Beatles singing clearly. It doesn't drown them out, but you need the screams to some point because that's part of the hysteria. You know, you need that, I believe, in my opinion. I'm very self-conscious about people watching me on a big live screen, a big giant TV screen. I'd be interested to know here what people watch me on. That's something we don't usually talk about. Do I think it's wise? What size is your TV? I have a 55 inch, but then you see all kinds of imperfections and things. But anyway, knock yourself out. So, yes, so I actually did. I have a photo. I wish there was a way I could get it for you. Maybe I could. I don't know how I would find the photo fast enough. Actually, I really, when you have a lot of photos on your phone, but you don't really know where it is. Could be in any one of these so-called albums, but I really don't know where it would be, honestly. I'm going to just try real quick here. I'm going to look up, please let me find it fast. I have an idea where it might be. It's not where I thought it might be. Uh, Give me a second here. Well, the thing is that my mom, I don't have any memory of it, but my mom said my very first Halloween, which would be, I guess, 1964, I went as Ringo. I wore one of those Ben Cooper costumes. I had a Ringo costume. I wish I had it now. I really wish I had it now, but I don't. Um, and there's a picture of me sitting on my mother's lap, and she's wearing the Ringo mask, looking at me. And I have it, and I posted it here and there, but I can't find it when I want it. So just give me a chance. I'm going to just look for it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this. If I can't locate it, we'll say the hell with it for now. But it would be a good time to show it because you brought it up. Um, I don't even know what to look for. Uh, Pictures, Messenger, pictures. Let's try the pictures department here. Come on, baby, let's find it. Well, it's not meant to be. I can't find it. It could be anywhere. Um, Sorry, folks. I'm gonna do this because I really want to find it. Come on, baby. Can't find it. Screenshots, maybe. Maybe it's in screenshots. Is it a screenshot? Don't. Oh, there it is. I found it. Woohoo! Okay, there it is, folks. Here's a picture of me. This is Halloween. This is October of 1964. It'll take a moment for the picture to clear up. Come on. Come on. Ah, let's see if this helps. It's not going to work. It's not going to focus. There it is. Come on. Well, you can make out that's my mother with the Ringo mask on here. You can see the hair, and there's me sitting on a lot. You can't see our faces or anything. Why that is, I have no clue. One more try. People are like, who cares already? Enough. We get the picture. You don't really get the picture because you can't see it. I just wasted an awful lot of time here. Sorry, folks. I can't do it. I tried. All right, that would have been nice. All right, let's try to go back to where we were. Yeah, you can lower the screams, but let's not get rid of them because it's part of this insanity of Beatlemania. I don't want them to like completely lower them or drown or get rid of them. Uh, Hello, Michael Nolan. Good to see you here, sir. I've watched some of your videos. I so agree with you regarding Shea Stadium being done right. It was the first stadium rock concert, so historically it's important. Yes, indeed, for sure. What is your favorite mix of Imagine and Plastic Ono band? Well, I definitely, I guess I prefer the new mixes. The go-to mixes, the ultimate mix of the Paul Hicks. Yes, the Beatles' Halloween costumes are. Definitely rare collectibles, and I wish I had them. I mean, I collect so much Beatles stuff, and I would like to eventually get around to picking up somehow all of the Beatle costumes, the so-called Ben Cooper costumes. And Dave Pounds watches me, whoa, on a 65-inch screen. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't know why I don't care for the new Fool on the Hill. That's one of the tracks I don't like on the new one, you know. Dim the light on your phone, Joe. Yeah, it's too much trouble. I had it, but now I can't get back to the picture, you know. So, I only watch YouTube on my large screen, OLED. Very good. I think. Yes, I was waiting for somebody to bring this up. The UK chart, the official chart, is predicted that the Beatles, the Red and Blue albums, tomorrow they'll be official, will be number one and number two. The Blue album will be number one and the Red will be number two in 2023. Well, get ready for it, folks. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to rub it in everybody's face. That is fantastic. It's not official yet, not official till tomorrow, but they say cheers. Every indication we're on the way. The UK, so the Beatles having number one and two albums in 2023. Okay, suck that, folks. Suck that, naysayers. Good morning, Darren Gamble. Good morning, good morning, good morning to Greaser Dyke. Whoa, 55-inch curved TV, not bad for first thing in the morning. Really? Oh, well, let me fix my hair. Ooh. Yeah. There's only so much you could do. You wake up out of bed, you drag a comb across your head. That's about all you can do. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, yeah. I got a kick out of it. This guy Jungkook or whatever the hell his name is he's now number one on the I believe it's the is it the digital sales chart. He kind of like surpassed the B beat now and then. Now he took over now. Who gives a crap? Do you think Jungkook Cook drunk, whatever his name is, you think he's going to wind up, do you think he's going to have a hit in another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years? No. So let him enjoy his moment where he's big with BTS and all of this. The only reason I ever even heard of BTS in the first place is because they were another one of these so-called we beat the Beatles nonsense, which never they never beat the Beatles, never. Oh my God, I watch you on a 75-inch TV. Jeez, my 7-year-old likes you as well now. He wakes up and tells me, you watching Joe Dad? Hello, I don't know if he's watching now, but hello to your son, 7-year-old son. Hello, that's a riot. I just, guys, I got to tell you, you like the Beatles, you like collecting records and things, so you start a channel. And then all of a sudden, people tell you, I watch you from Australia, I watch you from, Taiwan, I watch you all over the world, I watch you. And then you hear people saying, oh, you helped me get through so much stuff. Oh, he's still sleeping, he's still sleeping. You know, people say, I was so sick with COVID and I watched you every day that got me through it. And then you tell me this is great. Your son watches it and says, you watching Joe? I just think it's great. I think it's great. It really, it's amazing because you just really, I'm doing this as we all do for ourselves, for fun, uh, to meet people. But it's just so nice. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Glyn John's mixes. It's interesting to hear Glyn John's mix of the Get Back, Let It Be album because it's different. It's kind of rough. But the Beatles were so right for not releasing it or not bothering with it after. It's pretty poor in terms of a releasable album. Something you want to release. So in that regard, it's not really anything. Yeah, people like Jungkook and they have 15 minutes of fame. All right, let's give them a little more time. in the case of BTS, so they got an hour of fame. In the case of Taylor Swift, she's got a week of fame. I not literally a week. I know everybody. She's been around since 2005, Joe. I mean, 15 minutes of fame. You know, I can't think what the term is. Metaphorically speaking, you know. We'll extend it to like a month of fame for Taylor Swift, but ultimately it's over. It's going to be over, like it always is with everybody. What was the name of the female backup singer that the Beatles used? The only thing I can think of is when they did Across the Universe, they had Lizzie Bravo and Gayleen Pease on the version of Across the Universe. That's all I know. Yes, I know somebody else who's named Lennon. I actually know a guy. There's a college student named Lennon that I know of his first name. Most of the acts selling really well right now make you miss the Archies. Oh, I'll take Sugar Sugar easily. Definitely. Definitely take Sugar Sugar. No problem. Oh, man. Okay, Taylor is close to her 20th anniversary of the music. 20 years in the music biz, and I still don't know any of her songs. I mean, I played a few. Recently, I did. I had to go out of my way to play her music. It's not like I'm hearing it everywhere, like we heard "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and we heard, "Oh My Love It" and we heard "Hey Jude." It's nothing like that, as far as I'm concerned. Um, yeah, 20 year anniversary. Thanks for wearing the Ski Lodge shirt. Yes, indeed. This is my Ski Lodge shirt for Stephen Schnee. The Ski Lodge. This is his show that he does every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. You have the Ski Lodge where he plays different music, turns people onto different things. I watched his video. You got a video up now showing your music room, and I watched and commented on it. It was amazing. I love seeing the collections like that, but it really does make me wonder, like, how in the world, are we ever going to be able to listen to all that stuff? When you see that much stuff, it's like, wow. You know, yes, indeed. You had Yoko and Patty sing on "Birthday," and Yoko sings on "Bungalow Bill." Yeah, that's really the truth there. Hello, Dino. I'm just waking up. It's going good. Do I have an Ultra HD Blu-ray? I don't know if I have an Ultra. I don't know if it's Ultra HD. You know, man. Sorry, folks. Morning. It's the morning. That's why I'm drinking my tea. An attempt to help things out here. But so what's going on, folks? We have a little lull right now. We have a little lull. Come on, people. Come on, people, let the fun begin. We've got a future and it's charging in. Yes, I've listened to the double. I own the double album of Red Rose Speedway, and I like it. I'm not a fan of Red Rose Speedway in general, but I did like the double album. The double album was a little better. Yeah, trust me, I think of that question all the time. How are we ever going to have time to listen to it all? Like, here I am sitting here, and I could right now be listening to music, or I could be reading a book. I have so many books, or I could be watching a movie, but I prefer to spend it with all you. So that's what I'm doing here. It's fun. It's good to tune in with people. We got another beautiful sunny day here. We've had a string of sunny mornings, and that's what I like. I like the sunshine. I don't like gloomy, rainy, cloudy days. Who does? Who does? Unless you're some kind of a nut. But you know, I mean, nut. I mean, I guess even cloudy days have their moments. their reason. Sometimes it's a good idea just to stay in and watch TV or stay by the fire. I don't have a fire, but so okay. The weather reports are coming in. Rain tomorrow into Saturday in New York. Of course, you know why? Because tomorrow I'm supposed to get together with my friend Anthony. We haven't gotten together in quite some time. We're going to be making a video, hopefully getting together. Maybe going over to the guy who curses a lot in order to see if he's got any new stuff in. Check out his oldie shop, see if he's got any nostalgic stuff in there. And, probably have some breakfast and all that jazz. And it's going to be raining. Great, great, wonderful, beautiful, terrific. I know you can't have sunshine all the time, but, you know, I don't really know what we're talking about, James, with Sanford and Son. Devonda Wilson, Lawanda Page. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, there's not a lot of stuff over there. Smash that like button. One of the problems, folks, is that I don't. When I do StreamYard, I'm doing StreamYard now. I can't see what the thumbs up or down. Well, there's no thumbs down, but I can't see the likes on here. I don't see that. Also, if anybody wants to hit the tip jar and appreciates the content and wants to keep the content coming and wants to keep the lights on and wants to keep the electric on, wants to keep me being able to get some stuff to show and share with you and all that stuff that I do or appreciation, it's not required at all, but it's always appreciated. So just something to think about. I'll mention that from time to time, and if it gets under people's skin, that's too bad. I have to say that because it's not an easy thing to say. You feel like, oh, gee, I'm begging for tips, but you got to do it now and then. Otherwise, people just forget or don't care or don't think about it or whatever. But ain't no harm in that. Let's see. I did not grow up on the island. I grew up in the city. Uh, I have 16 likes right now. I don't know why I can't see them. I have 61 viewers, only 16 likes. Come on. Get those likes up. Good morning, Eddie. Sorry if I missed you. Beetle Eddie. All right. So, everybody listening to me, I got a burning question for you. What's on your so called minds? Got a question for you. That's a question that I ask. Uh, We've got a lull in comments. That's what I gotta sing. If we get too much of a lull in comments, I'll have to sing, or I'll have to put on one of my cheesy old. What do you call these things? Cheesy old clips. So let's do it.
Go for it. Who put this on? It's just a random selection of notes in no particular order. For fuck's sake.
Amen to that. And for all you people who think that John Lennon was controlled by Yoko Ono, he's got some choice words for you before he died.
Nobody controls me. I'm uncontrollable. Fuck you, brother or sister. You don't know what's happening.
You tell them, John. You tell them. Okay, I like that. Let's see. Did you listen to the Fab Four Christmas album yet? I like it. I'm saving it for closer to Christmas. I have it ready. I'm gonna play it. You know, what's my favorite actor who played the Mummy? In the old Universal horror films, my favorite Mummy movie is called The Mummy's Hand, and my favorite actor who played the Mummy was actually a guy named Tom Tyler, who's in the Mummy's Hand. Um, I like Lon Chaney Jr. also, Lon Chaney. But yeah, Tom Tyler. That was one of the first horror movies as a child that I saw that kind of creeped me out and made me a fan I am today. That mummy was really creepy, very creepy the way he went around, like all like crippled and everything. I love that. The mummy was, very very scary. And that's it. So okay. Yeah. Oh, Sanford, the show Sanford. Oh, a spinoff. Okay, I didn't remember that. I didn't remember the spinoff. Did I get the Beatles White Album 30th anniversary on CD in 1998? No, I did not. Just goes to show you folks, I don't get everything. I skip a lot of things. I always say the red and the blue albums, these are the new red and blue albums are my only copies since the 1973 originals. I did not get all those other incarnations of the red and blue that came out, we released over the years. I'm trying to swallow this hard so it coats my throat a little bit. Peppermint. Geddy Lee has a baseball from Shea Stadium signed by all of the Beatles. Well, if it's legitimate and you can read all the signatures, I don't know, $20,000, 15 to 20,000. Well, Boris Karloff, Karloff's great. Karloff is a wonderful actor. He's the king of horror, they call him. He was in the original Mummy, but you don't see him in the bandages very often. Just the first 10 minutes of the movie. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you, Bitsong. Always Beatles product at this time. I first took note of the release of the White Album. That's great. Originally, in 1968. When the White Album was out, I was in the first grade. I wasn't aware. It's funny. I remember being aware of Magical Mystery Tour because there was like an older girl cousin of ours that kind of played it one day at a party, and I was aware of that. And Hey Jude. Somewhat aware of Magical Mystery Tour, and I was aware of the Hey Jude single. But other than that, not in real time, really. In the Beatle cartoons on Saturday morning TV. Other than that, that's my Beatles. That's my Beatles memory in my '60s childhood. So, what's the good word, folks? What's the good word, huh? Did I say that yet today? What's the good word? What's the good word, folks? You got any good word out there? What's the most valuable or rare Beatles collectible you have? I don't know. I really don't. People think I'm copping out when I say I don't think anything's extremely rare. I don't have anything that most Beatle fans don't have. I actually have an item. You see it if you look in my avatar. When I'm holding up Ringo's Rotogravure album, I got a little spyglass from Atlantic Records that my friend Elliot, gifted to me. It's one of my favorite. That little thing is one of my favorite pieces in my entire collection because I never see it anywhere. It's a rare piece. Not only have I heard of the MFSL vinyl box set, I actually just saw. There's a copy right now in my record store. I think somebody's buying it. It's on hold. So if anybody wants to buy it, I'm sorry. I think it's on hold. But I don't think anything of it. The black box, I don't care. It's not attractive. Just a black box. The record covers suck. It's just the EMI tape on the cover. It doesn't do anything for me, to be honest with you. Okay, Steven says Gun Troppo gets bad press. Bought it on the day of release. Must have been the only one. I think the song Unknown Delight must have led me to marry a lady with darkest deep brown eyes I've ever seen. Well, actually, I remember Gon Troppo when it came out in the store. I could not find it. There was no fanfare, no promotion, no marketing. I went there. I could not locate. I looked all over the new record releases and I could not find it. Finally, I spotted George Harrison's little picture on it. Looks like a picture of him from like the Dark Horse era. and I picked it up, and I still to this day don't like it very much, although I like it much better in 2023 than I did in 1982. It's still in the running as his least album for me. I don't know which is least, more least, that one, or Extra Texture, but yeah. How's the sound quality? I have no idea. I've never played those MFSL records, and I assume that the sound quality is very good, but I've never played it. Never played any of them. So there you go. I don't know for sure. Um, okay, we're kind of caught up again. Time for another sip of tea. Cheers. And with that, I'm kind of done because nobody's asking more questions. I'm waiting for things to pick up a little bit. You know, they do pick up after a while, especially as you get closer to the 9 o'clock hour here. What's my favorite group after the Beatles and Stones? I love Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Those are Blondie. You know, those are some of my favorite bands. You know, the Kinks. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Very nice of you to say that. Thank you. If people don't like it, if people don't watch it, there's no point in making the videos. So, and you know, again, I have a little moment now where I'm kind of stagnant again. You know, after all that now and then talk and all that red and blue album talk, right now it's a little dull. It's kind of quiet. I'm sure I'll be making a video very soon about my friend Anthony and I. We're getting together to hang out, go to breakfast, you know, lunch, and we're gonna, you know, go around and see what we can do. If there's any footage we can take, there's only so much we can record. You know, we're running out of ideas. You know, but there's that, and also I'm pretty sure somebody said earlier, in the good old UK, it looks like the Beatles' Red and the Blue albums, the new ones, are positioned to be number one and two. The blue should be number one, and the red should be number two. The top two albums on the charts. But that doesn't happen in the UK until tomorrow. Tomorrow is when it's official, but all signs are pointing to the fact that that's going to happen. And if that happens, I certainly will wind up making a video to rub it in. Boy, do I love doing that. Gotta laugh. These people today really think there's something. You know, they really think there's something to be very popular in their day. You know what I mean? Anybody can be popular, big in their day. And yes, that includes Taylor Swift. And when I say in her day, I'm not talking about in her day 2023. I'm talking about, you know, the 21st century. She's very big from the 2000s, 2010s, and 20s. Eventually, you know, her rose will dim as well, just like all of them. And that's nothing, you know, again, is it a knock? By the way, she is a pretty lady. You know, I actually, people ask me yesterday, what do you think of Taylor Swift? And I always say she's pretty, but you know, but I saw like her talking about something. I forget what she was talking about. A clip on. She was really cute. So yeah, so she is. I like Taylor in that regard. So you know, just so you know. Let's see. Have you listened to Now and Then on various formats? Is there a format you enjoy best? The only thing I've heard it on so far is the Blue albums on the CD. I have not played it any other way yet. Anthony will be too scared to see the Thanksgiving horror movie. It's just not his thing. I don't think he cares. You know, it's hard to stay fresh, but keep those vids coming. I really enjoy them. Thank you. And I'm trying to also, people have asked about this, I'm trying to assemble enough footage, so to speak, from hanging out at the record store to get another record store reality video up. As you know, Bazooka Joe was going through cancer treatment. He's doing fantastic. I think he looks good. I think he sounds good. You know, what can I say? You know, I'm glad to hear that. And he participated in a little bit of banter between himself and Don. So I have a little bit of footage of that, and other things too. That guy Beansy came into the old guy Beansy came into the store. I took a little footage of him. I'm running. There's only so much you could do. So I'm trying to put enough together that I can get a video coming up. Gon Troppo, the first solo Beatle not to chart in the UK. I played it a lot and got used to it. It's not the worst. Okay, may I ask you what's the worst then? If that's not the worst. Uh, yes, I heard now and then on the phone, which does not count at all. Also heard it on the radio. All right, I got it on the AM. Was it AM? No, it was FM radio. Yes, George did not publicize Gone Troppo. Whether he publicized it or not, it's just a dull album. It's a dull album to me. And that's my opinion. Although there are some songs I do like on it. I love "That's the Way It Goes." I love that song. I love the song from Time Bandits called "Dream Away." Um, those are really my two favorite songs on it. "Wake Up My Love" is okay, but it's not good. It's not good. Just okay. The song "Circles" puts me to sleep. "Baby Don't Run Away" is okay, even though they got the cheesy background singing on it. So there you go. So I'm not really a big fan of that. Excuse me, that album. Grease is not bad. I guess it's the instrumental. It's not bad, but come on. It's not among. It's not. It's not all things must pass material. Let's see. Now that the dust has long settled on Egypt Station, I think it was one of the worst solo releases. I wouldn't say it's one of the worst, but I think it's like just okay. It's mid tier. A lot of people kind of like praise the album Egypt Station, and I think it's one of Paul's mid tier. You got the best stuff on the top, worst stuff on the bottom, and I think I'll put Egypt Station in the middle. I just think a lot of people like that, but there you go. Mike is heard now and then on the radio 4 times. I've only caught it once, unfortunately. I'd like to hear it more often. What's my favorite beer? Well, I'm not really a drink. I'm not a drinker at all. But almost anything. I don't really know beers at all. To me, beer is beer. I know I'm wrong. Beer connoisseurs out there will tell you that there's certain good beers and everything. But I drink either Corona or Heineken, St. Pauli Girl. I mean anything, whatever's around. It doesn't matter to me, really. Okay. There you go. My son Lennon just woke up. He says, "Hi and good morning." Good morning, Lennon. I love that name. Well, what is it about that name I love? Do you hear me, Lennon? If you don't, I'll say hello some other time. Good to see you. Thank you for watching along with Dad. Much appreciated. Feelings on the Who. Hello, Jeffrey. Jeff Roy or Jeffrey? Jeffrey or Jeff Roy? I like the Who now. When I was growing up, I didn't care about the Who much. I didn't care. But now I recognize them as a great rock band, and I do like the Who now. Was George's Gon Troppo album a contractual obligatory album at the end of his contract? I'm trying to figure that out. Because was it the end of the contract? Because in '82, because I know he was fed up with the record business, and he probably did it mostly for that reason. But then again, where does Cloud Nine come in? I'm trying to figure. Wasn't Cloud Nine also by the same company? Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. All right, folks. Come on, people are just getting up, getting ready for school, getting ready for work. All you people that have to go to school now, Lennon. Go to school, you folks. But remember, don't let them tell you stuff that they shouldn't be telling you. you know, I don't want to be a parent here, but Uh, anyway, and get ready for the world. Learn stuff, and then also people go into work. Go make the world strong. Do your job. Do your job so I can relax. I did my work. Somewhere in England, Stephen feels is the worst George Harrison album. I don't agree. It's got a big hit on it all those years ago, for one thing. But I don't think all those years ago was one of George's greatest songs, not by far. But anyway, I like a bunch of songs on Somewhere in England. It's not Somewhere in England is not among George's best stuff, but I just don't think it deserves the lambasting it gets. Yeah. So, Crackerbox Palace video is so much fun. Olivia Harrison looks gorgeous in it as well. Oh yeah, I don't want to say that when she's standing there at the edge of the bed there in that kind of dominatrix outfit. Oh boy, I don't want to say too much there. We got children listening to this. You know what I mean? But no, she looks really fetching in that picture, in that video. Let's see. Did you know that Christopher Lee was the first choice for the role Jack Nicholson played in Tommy? I think he was the doctor. I did not know. I did not know that. I did not know that. Now I do. I learned something new. If I can retain it, that's part of the challenge there. 76 people hit those buttons, hit the like buttons. Thank you, everybody. Smash that like button. That's what they say, right? Smash it. Whatever the hell that means. I love when you say that. Every time you say that, some idiot or a couple idiots just say, I'm going to go away. Fuck him." Excuse me for the language. I just get a kick out of it. It never fails. If you say something like, "Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Hey, we got 100 people here now." All of a sudden, it goes down to 97. There's always got to be like three people that get off. People just watch and they watch. They can't help themselves. They got to watch. You know. Now we're down to 70. We had 74. I just told that story. We're down to 70. You think I care? I'm doing good. Thank you. Hope you're doing good. Cheers. It's just an observation I'm making. That's all it is. By the way, I meant to bring it in here. I don't have it. Well, I know what I'm gonna do. I'll get the dust jacket. It's a new book I got. I'm gonna promote this book. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. I'm back and I got it. Okay. There's a new book that I just got. I started reading it already, but I must confess, I kind of like read. I've been skimming it. I got to read it straight through, which I will. Kenneth Womack, this new book here, Living the Beatles Legend, the untold story of Mal Evans, the Beatles roadie. There he is. And this is the dust jacket, okay? Why? Because when I read a new book, I handle it a lot. I'm bringing and carrying it where I go, different places, and I don't want it to get damaged, the cover. So I take the cover off and put it away safely, so it doesn't get like soiled up. And there, of course, is a picture of Kenneth Womack. Kenneth Womack there, who's a good guy, and he's also, of course, one of my sometime co-hosts on the show, Talk More Talk. He's on there a lot. He's a friend of the show. He's an original member of the show. Yes, definitely, definitely. And there's a picture on the back cover. This is out now. There's a picture of Mal Evans lugging the instruments, the Beatles instruments, into the studio. And it's a very interesting read so far, and I'm sure it's going to be even better. I'm going to try to have. I don't know if Kenneth Womack even knows this. I think he does. I'd like to have him here on the show. I'd like to interview him. about the book, and I'm sure we're going to be talking to him on Talk More Talk, but I'd like to have him here on the Mean Mr. Mayo channel also. So there you go. Stephen Schnee says that Mel Evans book is the first Beatles related book I've wanted to read in years. And I agree with you. I agree with you. We don't have any books on Mal Evans, and this is really one of the unsung heroes uh, to read about. Hard to read a book and keep the dust jacket on at the same time. Exactly. So I always take it off. Stephen Price says, I bought this morning the White Album on CD with the Esher demos on it. What is your view on this album? The White Album itself is one of my all-time favorite Beatle albums. One time, it's hard for me to pick my favorite Beatles album because it changes all the time. But a lot of times when I make a list, the White Album comes in at number one, and that's because it's so vast and there's so much versatility on it and different kinds of music on it, which is why I really like it so much. Um, And as far as the Esher demos, yeah, that they're fascinating to have that version with the Esher demos, that particular album. But if you're talking about the quality of that release itself, I don't like what Giles Martin did to all the songs. Some of the songs were good, and some of them he kind of you know compromised them a little bit. Okay, just found somewhere in England. Why do you think he included Baltimore Oriole? I forgot about Baltimore Oriole. That is one of my favorite. How did I forget that song? I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs. I love it. I love it. It's a cover song. It's a Hoagie Carmichael song, and I absolutely love Baltimore Oriole. I love the saxophone in there. I love the feeling it has to it. I love it. The variety on the White Album is what makes it a fan fave, and I agree 1,000%. I just said it, so I definitely agree, right? All right, let's have some more of this peppermint tea here with lemon. Peppermint and lemon just doesn't go good, but I have to get a cup warmer. I definitely do because this is not warm anymore. It's lukewarm. Lasted about an hour. Hmm. What's going on, folks? What's going on? Who's here? Who's here? Who's here that I don't know about yet? We got 75 people watching. Now it's going to go down to 70. But, I would like to. I always wonder who's lurking. The people who you know, don't come up very often, or at all. Okay. Hello, Mr. Arvidson. What's your biggest Beatles regret? Like an item you passed on or a concert or so you didn't go to? Okay, that's a good one. I've gone to just about every Paul McCartney concert when he's been around in my area. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just never went to the City Field concert in 2009. I wish I would have went to that. My biggest Beatles regret is the fact that the ultimate biggest Beatles regret is that when John Lennon was alive, when he died, when John Lennon was killed, I was 18. And I had plenty of opportunities to go into the city when I was like 16, 17, and 18, 78, 79, and 80, and try to say hi to John. And I just never, I never did it. And that's my ultimate biggest Beatles regret, Beatles related regret by far. It wasn't meant to be, I suppose, but, yep. If McCartney was going to have one of his albums overhauled and remixed, which would you choose? I'd want them to remove the 80s sound from Press to Play. I love 80s music, but not on that album. The problem I have with Press to Play I never really liked that album when it first came out. These days, I like it better than I did back then. But Press to Play has never been an album that I like much.
Now this album, I just really, I just can't take it.
So there you go. By the way, I always got to caution people. I have that album was an album that skipped. The track skipped, so I got a better copy. But so that's why that was a throwaway album. But seriously, I don't, but it's not because of the '80s production that I don't like it. I think the songs are weak. I love the song "Press," the single. I like "Only Love Remains." I even like Pretty Little Head. But overall, I just don't like the album. But I don't very much. But I like it better than I did then, and it has nothing to do with the '80s production for me at all. But which one would I like to see? Somebody else said it. I think Back to the Egg I'd like to see remixed. And I think I'm hoping there's going to be an archives edition on that. I hope he finishes the Wings album in the archive series. Definitely, definitely. So, okay. I think I know. You talk. There's a lot of different sounds of drinking with the Three Stooges. I don't know if you're talking about this one. Is that the one you're talking about? Like when you're drinking out? My spoon just hit the floor. My teaspoon. Good morning, Rob. My current thought on Now and Then. Beautiful song. Amazing new experience for me. Very grateful. But the more I listen, the less joy I find. And I get a little depressed. Your thought? It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Is the best way that I could say it. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of sad. It's kind of depressing. But it's bittersweet. It's melancholy. But overall, I love it. You know, I just really do. And yes, that's the sound, right? There you go, right there. The Three Stooges sound. Which do you prefer, the original Yellow Submarine soundtrack with George Martin's instrumentals or the reissue with just Beatles songs? I much prefer the 1999 Beatles song track, Yellow Submarine song track with the blue cover. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. My biggest regret is not getting the 2014 mono vinyl box or any of the individual albums. I just didn't know. Well, I also regret the fact that I bought the 2014 mono vinyl set when it came out, and then not too long after, I needed some quick cash, so I sold it. And I wish I still had that. I wish I still had the box and hadn't sold it. I really do. But now, I also regret also that at the time I sold it, it wasn't going for thousands of dollars. Now it's very rare and going for thousands of dollars. Do I like Stranglehold from Press to Play? It's not bad. It's one of the songs that I can enjoy from Press to Play, but it's not a good song. It's okay. It's not a good song. Did I say good? Did I originally say good? Then I change it to okay? It's okay. It's not good. It's a difference. You know? I've heard about this movie, Danny Collins. I didn't know the name of it, but I know that it's a movie about him. It involves John Lennon, and I've never seen it. I really should see it. So many things we got to see. So little time to see them. So much music to listen to, books to read. So much. You know, the Genesis album that never was. Press to play. Hmm. Yeah, perhaps. What's going on, folks? Okay, we're at almost at 8:30 a.m. here. I've been on for just over an hour, and we'll see how far I go. I know things start picking up even more as we get to 8:30, 9 a.m. time usually. All right, so what's going on, folks? What's on your minds? And I'm just trying. This helps me wake up. It helps me get ready for my day. Helps me get excited about being alive. So, Oh boy, oh boy. It's a little dull here right now, folks. Come on, we got 74 people watching. I know. I appreciate this. This is real. This is real. I appreciate. This is really trying desperately to come up with things to talk about, but I appreciate it. What's my plans for today? Well, let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna after this. I'll get ready and do my morning walk. Here's another one. Morning walk. And I'm supposed to. All I know is I'm supposed to go out for dinner tonight. We're supposed to go. Uh, my girlfriend and I, along with Robert S. and his girlfriend, supposed to go to dinner tonight. That's not till later. But other than that, there's not much really planned for today. Maybe go pay my car insurance. Yes, I pay in person. Yes, I do. I don't do it online. I don't want. I do as little online as I can. I know it's going to be. Everybody says, "Hey, get used to it. It's the new world. It's the brave new world." It's definitely going to be the way you have to pay in the future. And as I keep telling everybody, when that comes along and I have no choice, I'll have to do it. But until that time, I'm going to definitely stall it as much as possible. Have you ever heard the soundtrack to I Am Sam? If so, what did you think of it? I've never heard of it. That's the movie with Sean Penn, right? I've heard that there's a lot of Beatles music in it. That's all I know about it. Has Don been homeless all his life? No, he has not been homeless all of his life. I think he's been homeless since around 1992, but I can't stress enough that it's by his choice. Now he's going to say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." But he could get housing anytime he wants. They've offered him housing, just not the kind of housing he demands. And I know he's been offered jobs, even little jobs that he could do, and he doesn't want to work. So that's but yet he goes around with his hand out, expecting everybody else to give him money. And not for nothing, but I've given him money. I gave him more money. I was able to give him more money when I was working because I had more money. Now I don't have as much money. Obviously, being retired, I don't make as much money as I did then. That's why I always ask sometimes if anybody wants to help, please do. I'm begging now. Here I am. I just talked about Don. But the thing is, you know, um, I don't know. But I worked in my life. I paid my dues. I earned my way. So, and that's really true when it comes to him. That's really true when it comes to him. Where does he stay in the winter? Well, he finds every kind of place. That's one thing you got to say. He's a survivor, and a lot of people that are in his predicament, especially even the ones that choose that predicament and won't improve themselves. Um, these people, they always say, "Oh, I'm such a survivor. I'm a survivor." They pride themselves on being able to stay alive. Um, Christmas movies for this year only two seem good. Godzilla -1 and Terrifier 3. Well, I want to see both of those movies. I want to see Terrifier 3 and I want to see the new Godzilla movie. Now I know Godzilla is opening up. I think it's December 1st. But what I'd like to know is the Terrifier movie, the new one, Terrifier 3. I thought that was delayed until next Christmas of 2024. You know if that's true, or is it definitely coming out this Christmas? I just learned. Do you want to know a secret on my guitar? Yeah, I have no patience. I remember when I was 20 years old, I had a friend who played guitar. He said, "I'll teach you to play guitar." I said, I was lazy. But anyway, I said, "Okay, let's learn." So he tried to teach me. I think the first song I tried playing was "For Me to You" on the guitar. And it's got the chord change or whatever. If there's anything that you want, I don't know how your hand goes. And you had to like change, and I just could not figure out. I could not get down how to change the chord. And then even if I was able to put my fingers in the right spot, I couldn't press. I thought I was pressing really hard, but I had to press really hard. And I'm like, screw this. I gave up really quick. Not for nothing, but it's just not my thing. I mean, I don't think I have the talent for that. I think I have talents for lots of other things. I'm creative. I think I make good. I think I would have been happy as a film editor. I'm a good editor. I think I'm creative. I do a lot of creative things, but I'm artistic, very artistic, I think, in lots of ways. But playing music is not my thing. Yeah, I know Terrifier 3 has a Christmas theme. I know that. But is it definitely opening this Christmas? I thought I read somewhere that they were going to delay it. They were going to delay it for a while. But I'd like to know. Thoughts on Bruce Willis and his medical issues? I think it's horrifying. Anytime that happens, it's horrifying, and my heart goes out to the man. And to see a man like that, an action hero like that, and so vital and everything, it's sad. And I would say in 2024, what good is that? For Terrifier 3. Well, what? So we got to wait all the way till Christmas? Why are they? I've seen posters and things. Why are they promoting Terrifier 3? You know, if it's not coming out till next Christmas next year. Yes, I Am Sam is all Beatles covers. Sean Penn, one of the originals, but he couldn't get permission. Okay. The Day Tripper riff is easy to play. George should have used more distortion on the recorded version. Apparently, Don has some kind of mental illness. Well, I'll say this much: Don is definitely less mentally challenged. Did I get that right, everybody? Everybody's fifis feel good. All your fifis feel good. I said mentally challenged. Everybody feel good. Hey, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Anyway, Don's handicap has you know actually not deterred him. And he's nowhere near as there's other people that are in his situation that are much worse off than him. So I never think of him like that. Good morning, Psycho Splatters. You know what I do when I see you, even though I'm running out of tea here. Ah, how sweet it is. Maybe piano instead of guitar. I'm just not interested. First of all, you have to want to play music. You have to be interested. You have to be interested, and I'm not interested, in learning. Period. End of story. But if I was, it would kind of be tough. You know what I mean? Because you got, the fingers get in the way. I don't know how people play piano. You gotta have thin fingers. Cheers. Cheers. What's your top three favorite Beatles outros? Like, part the outro, please, please be like, I please you. Well, anyway, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, these things don't always hit me, though. Unfortunately, I wish, you have to think. You sit here, and if I think, I'll be here all day. I can't think of outros that I like. I like the end of "Think for Yourself." Da-na-na-na. I like the ending of "I Want You, She's So Happy." But you talk about outros, like not endings per se, but singing outros and things. I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Do I like iced tea or hot tea better? These days, I like hot tea better. When I was a kid, I drank iced tea. They used to have iced tea in the refrigerator in a pitcher, and I would drink it. It's sugar. It's crap. It's nothing but sugar. But that's when I grew up. All I did, as a kid, I just had cake. We had cakes, and we had pasta, and we had sugar. We had iced tea. And it was all the wrong stuff. As a kid. My grandparent. I lived with my grandparents, and I was spoiled in that regard. But I remember with the iced tea pitcher, the whole thing is that. The idea is people still do it. You know the idea. Whoever finishes it has to make it. If you finish the last of the iced tea, then you have to be the one to make the new pitcher, right? So everybody knows the old trick. You take the pitcher, pour it in the glass. You leave this much in the pitcher. You leave that much in there so you don't have to, or that much so you don't have to change. Never finish it, otherwise you got to make it. Funny stuff. Always powered by coffee each and every time is the Psycho promise. Yeah, I'm not drinking coffee, and this is decaffeinated tea, so there you go. There you go. The outro to 8 Days a Week. That's a good one. I know off topic, but just picked up the Mickey Dolenz Sings REM. I'm going to review this soon. Are you going to get that as well? I've heard it was out there. I don't know. Maybe if you do a review, I'll listen to your review. I don't know about that for sure. I like some REM songs. I like Mickey Dolenz, so maybe that's a good thing. Why do you think the Beatles are more popular in the Northeast? I have no idea. But all I know is they have the number one single now and then in the UK. And not only that, I hear it's going to be number one 2 weeks in a row. It's on course to be number one 2 weeks in a row in England, and supposedly tomorrow the Beatles' Blue album is going to be number one in the UK, and the Red album is supposed to be number two. How's my heart? As far as I'm concerned, it's pretty good. The last time I had it looked at though was a year ago. I was in the hospital for something else. It wasn't really my heart, but as long as you're in there, you're monitored. And I went to a cardiologist, and back then everything was good, but it's been a year, so who the hell knows? I mean, I never smoked. I don't drink. I need to lose weight, sure. Need to stop all the sugar and stuff. That's very important. And sometimes I do really well. Sometimes I can go a month and be fine, really good. Then other times I'm like, and I break down. I'm like, it's hard. It's a tough thing. Like for example, tonight when I'm going out to dinner, we're going out to dinner with Robert S. and thing. And when we go out, we're supposed to go to an Italian restaurant. Now, am I going to go to an Italian restaurant and pass up on the pasta? Pasta? I like pasta. Or am I going to go? Just give me a salad. Just give me a salad. Yeah, Jesus, salad. Or I think I'll just give me a little chicken dish. I'll take a little chicken masala. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could do that too. Chicken comes out of your flipping ears. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're trying to avoid, when you don't want to eat sugar, you don't want to eat sweets, and and fast food, and you don't want to have pizza, uh, and all that kind of stuff. You're trying to avoid starch and flour and all that garbage. Um, there's only so much you can have. Luckily for me, I don't give up meat, so I have, chicken, fish, beef, that stuff too. But you can only eat chicken so much. It gets, just. Am I 100% Italian? No, I'm not 100%. I'm 100% American. That's what I'm 100%. Although I'm not as proud of that these last bunch of years as I've been in the past. But I know that's a horrible thing to say. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't like the way things are going, and it's an awful world out. It's an awful country out there. Awful world out there. Don't get me wrong. I'd still rather be in America than anywhere else. But I'm just trying to because I fully believe love it or leave it, that whole thing. But the thing is, I don't like. The bottom line is I'm stumbling here. I just don't like the way it is today. Okay. I think it's insane out there. And I don't know what the hell's happening. I can't talk too much about this stuff. I usually make it a policy not to because I could really go off. Believe me, if I wanted to, I could really go off and I could really make videos on this stuff. But if I did that long enough, you probably wouldn't be able to see me anymore. So I really can't. You know the shtick. You know. I love hinting at it better. It's easy. It's better to hint at it. You know what I mean? I'm so sick of it. Yeah. You can say this, but you can't say that. You know, but rules for thee, not for me. You know, really tired of it. Hopefully things get sorted out. Uh, here we go. I've never been crazy about "Hello Goodbye," but I really dig the outro. "Hello Goodbye" is such a silly song, but I do love it. I do love it. Steak and beef. Steak and beef don't have any carbs. That's what I eat most of the time. Well, of course, for carbs, that's a good thing to do. But of course, people will tell you how bad meat is and all that, and da 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 yada yada yada. So there you go. I watched you for a couple of years before I made myself known. Not computer literate at all. Can you explain the actual process of making donations to your site? Well, I appreciate that. The only thing I could say is that whenever I'm on live, if you want to go to the bottom, you go to the bottom and there's a little S sign down there, and you follow the instructions. I think you have to have an account, PayPal account or something. And I'm not, I don't do that stuff either. So, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, truer words never spoken today anyway on this chat. Um, it actually now looks like Now and Then is going to slip to number 4. Okay. Um, okay. Last I heard, it was maybe number 1 for the second week, but that's okay. The main thing is that it hit number 1. You can say the Beatles had another number 1 in 2023 in the UK. Anyway, whether it was 1 week or 2. And like I said, when the red and the blue albums take the top 2 spots, which I hope they do, that's going to be really, really fun. Uh, yes, exactly, exactly. Did you grow up with Anthony? No, I did not grow up with Anthony. I met him at work. I don't know what year I met him, 2001, 2002, something like that. I known Anthony, about 20 years, something like that, I guess now. Yeah, it's true. I got blisters on my fingers, maybe the best outro. I'll go along with that. Good morning, good morning. What's going on, folks? Okay. Uh, okay. Thank you, folks. Reading all this comments. Not much to add. All right. Let's see. Now we're getting close to the 9 o'clock hour. You like the outro of Do You Want to Know a Secret? Okay. How do I eat eggs? Well, I have omelets. Here's the way I eat eggs. I have I go out to get them at restaurants, and I get an omelet, different kinds of omelets, all kinds of different omelets. Garden omelet, sometimes garden omelet, sometimes avocado omelet, whatever. Um, and I like fried eggs. I like fried eggs, and of course, as Robbie says here, with ketchup. I like ketchup on my eggs. My favorite thing to eat is for eggs is corned beef hash and eggs over easy. And a lot of people say right there, corned beef hash is probably no good. There's a lot of potatoes in there, there's a lot of fat in there, but I have corned beef hash, then usually 3 fried eggs over easy on top. And make the yolk goes all in, and I smother it. Well, not smother it, but I put a good amount of ketchup on it. And Tabasco sauce sometimes too to give a little kick. So that's my favorite thing to do. Favorite holiday? I really don't know. I've been asked that before. I like the 4th of July, not because I like fireworks, not because I like the 4th of July, not because I am really like patriotic or anything. I like it because it's summertime and it has to do with getting together with friends and family and having barbecues and being out in the nice hot weather. That's why I like the 4th of July. Christmas can be nice. At times I like Christmas, but sometimes I'm a Scrooge. Sometimes it's humbug, sometimes it's beautiful. Anyway, sugar and carbs will kill you. Can beef be any worse? Yeah, I think it's all supposed to be bad. Beef is supposed to be bad. Sugar and carbs are not good. You know what? You have to live on basically purified water and lettuce, celery, I guess. I saw an article today before I came on live this morning. I saw an article that talked about it was 200 foods that are bad for you to eat. Everything was on there. Everything. Things you wouldn't even expect were on there. I don't know what the hell they expect you to eat. They even, they said beans were bad for you. They said that canned soup, like Campbell's soup, is bad for you. They said that potatoes can be bad for you. Pears, fruit, the pears are bad for you. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Would you stop? Tomatoes can be bad for you. Frozen vegetables can be bad for you. It's like, just leave me the frick alone already. It's like, what the hell are you supposed to eat? Celery. I noticed apples weren't on the list of bad, and celery was. And I guess celery and apples are the only two things you can eat. They even had water. Some kinds of water are bad. La, 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 la. It's like, look, stop, just stop. I don't like the new remix of All Things Must Pass. I love it. I love that 50th anniversary remix of All Things Must Pass. Paul Hicks is great. Do you think we'll eventually get an even further expanded red and blue with the B-sides he skipped over? No, no, no. Absolutely not. I hope we never do. It's not needed, and I hope we never get it. That stuff will come. All those songs you mentioned will come out eventually in some form. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yes, I like mustard definitely, but I prefer mayonnaise and ketchup to mustard. But I like them all. All the condiments. Okay, we were talking about the U.S. charts before. I don't know. Okay, corned beef hash looks like what I feed my dog. Yeah, this is true. This is true, but I like what it tastes like. Sometimes I wonder if dog food tastes good. Sometimes I wonder about that. Yeah, I know. I love that. People are trying so hard to like get rid of all this stuff that they eat, eat healthy. The air is going to kill you. It's over. The world's over. That's it. Yeah, I know. Pears, no. It's hard for me to imagine pears being that bad. God, you know. Yeah, the more processed it is, the worse it is to eat. I'm trying to get back onto that, you know, proper eat. Folks, here's the whole thing with me. I went through a period I'll tell you the years, from 1989 to 1993. I really went fanatical about what I ate. I was reading every label. I wouldn't have ketchup because ketchup, if you read ketchup, it says corn syrup. I wouldn't have ketchup. If I went to the grocery store and I picked up a can of string beans, if it said ingredients, string beans, sugar, I'd put it back. I'd say, I want natural string beans. I was obsessive. And I've shown you can see pictures of me. If you look on my banner, you'll see skinny pictures of me from like 1993 or something. Anyway, to get to the present, what happened was in 1994 was the year that I just started eating anything again. I started eating whatever the hell I want. I've been doing that for 30 years. So here I am, 30 years of eating whatever the hell I want, and I intend on going back. I've been intending on going back for 30 years. I start, I stop, I start, I stop, I start, stop. Enough of that. And I got to get it going. And I keep thinking 2024 is going to work out for me. I hope, because 2024 is the 30th year that I've been doing this. It's got to stop somewhere. So it's 30 years, and sometimes I do good for a month. I did really good this past March. A whole month. I was careful. But anyway. Good morning, Jerome. Good morning. Good morning. My favorite meal is chicken parmesan. I like chicken parmesan, of course. Oh, ice cream. Yeah, but ice cream's not the best thing either. Malt vinegar on fish and chips. Yes, indeed. There it is. I never had that. You guys are making me hungry. Absolutely. They should go back to natural sugar and soda. I drank a bottle of current Pepsi and a bottle of real sugar, throwback Pepsi that was night and day. Soda is, I think soda, or as Richard Dolan would call it, pop. Soda or pop is one of the like worst things you can digest. Garbage, total garbage soda. That's probably the worst thing. A friend of mine once asked me, "What do you think is like the worst food you could put in your body?" And I said soda. Meaning at least for liquids. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think that's the worst thing. The problem is too much salt. Almost everything has salt. Gotta live your life and not worry about everything. Stress kills too. Yeah, I know, but the way I feel about that is I know what you're saying and I agree with you. But the thing is, I believe try to be careful. Like I always like feel like my analogy that I use is driving a car. You're on the road and you're driving a car, and the road is kind of full of potholes, and you have to steer the car out of the. Do you just drive recklessly, and hit all the potholes, or do you try to avoid the potholes? Every now and then, you're gonna inevitably you're gonna like catch a pothole, you know, but you don't. You should not de- deliberately sabotage yourself by going into the potholes. Now I'm talking like that. Of course, I don't live that all the time. Sometimes I live it, sometimes I don't. Uh, no, I have not. 10 spoons of sugar in a bottle of pop. Pop. I call it pop. Bela Lugosi played Dracula in 1931 and was killed in the end. Didn't reprise his role until Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. How do you explain he is there when he died? They don't explain it sometimes. They don't explain it, and you know, they don't explain it. By the way, Dracula, the character of Dracula, uh, is also he wasn't played by Bela Lugosi, but he was back in the Universal Monster series in films like House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula. Dracula comes back. And by the way, in House of Frankenstein, the character of Dracula, not played by Lugosi, but played by John Carradine, has a stake in his heart. They pull his stake out, and that's how he comes alive. So everybody, I know people who are not into this are bored out of their skulls. But anyway, so Eddie, in a way, Lugosi, Dracula does have continuity in it. In House of Frankenstein. I don't know what you mean by the song "I Scream, You Scream, We All Scream for Ice Cream." Salt is vital to the human body. Sugar is not. Well, again, when you say sugar, a lot of people, I agree with you. Sugar is not. But when you say sugar is not, you're talking about sucrose, table sugar, white sugar, garbage sugar. We need glucose. Glucose we need uh, for our brain function. And glucose can be had from vegetables. You know. Okay. Thank you for keeping me up because I can't see the likes here. 40 likes. I got 78 people and 40 likes. That's not bad. That's over half. Thank you. Yes, it's always the way it is. That's the way it is for sure. Would I buy? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Would you buy an LP recorded by Julian and Sean? I definitely would be curious to hear it. I'll tell you that. So I would probably listen to it, see if it was any good, and then I would, based on that, I would decide to buy it or not. I would be curious, though. There's no two ways about that. Definitely would be curious. Um, just taking care of business here. Hold on. I got to do this for a second. I won't be doing this very long. All right. Good. I just got to take a break here for a second. Okay, back. I watched the Squaring the Circle documentary last night. It was good. Paul had Paul got had on an album cover. Hilarious. I'm not sure what that is. I'm drawing a blank with that. Your body will produce all the glucose it needs from protein. You're right about that's what I said. You're right. No, you're right. I agree with you. Your body. A lot of people tell me, and you probably heard this too. A lot of people say, "Well, yet." I remember people, especially old people, when I was really sugar free in the old days. People would say, these old people. Remember this old lady say, "Well, your body has to have some sugar. You need some sugar. That's not a lot." No, you don't need sugar at all. What you need glucose, which is a type of natural sugar. Okay, so what's going on, folks? We just hit the 9 a.m. hour. It's now 9 a.m., and here we go. Yes, I definitely like that song a lot. No two ways about that. Oh, Down by Law is a movie. Okay, documentary. Okay. Hello, Mazzy. Mazzy, do you want to come up or not? Let me know if you want. We can do that if you want, but then it'll be just Beatles talk. But you'll let me. I'll put it here in case you feel like coming up. Some people enjoyed that the other day. I know you're usually on Rachel's channel, but I don't think you're up there at 9. I'm saying 9. That's the time it is here, but it's too early for you, right? It's too early for you. I keep forgetting. I apologize. I keep forgetting. I'm not up yet. I keep forgetting that. I got to remember that. I'm sorry. Uh, I think you mean the song "Too Late for Goodbyes" by Julian. That's a pretty good song. Yeah, right. Okay. Uh, right, folks. What's going on? I don't know what else to say, so I say what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? The Jude album by Julian is pretty good too. It could just use a bit more variety. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I gave it a very good review. Well, at least a good review. I don't know about very good review. I liked it, but I know what you mean. You could use a little more variety. Through all the now and then promotion, I haven't heard any statements from Yoko, and it's concerning. There's a video of her in a wheelchair from a few years ago where she mentions an illness she has. Yeah, well, she's not well, Yoko. She hasn't been well for a little while now. And she's 90 years old. She's going to be 91 in February. So yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. I remember that's one of the first things you notice about Julian is the way he sounds like his dad, for sure. I agree. At 1900, the average person ate 5 pounds of sugar a year. It's now an average of over 100 pounds a year per person. Well, everything you're talking about, I've been there. I mean, meaning, not that I'm eating 100 pounds, but whatever. I mean, I have books on that. I was very into nutrition once upon a time, and I like to get there again. Because it's something we should do, especially as we age. The last 30 years, I say, it'll be 30 years next year. 30 years next year that I've been just throwing all caution to the wind and just doing whatever the hell I want with regards to eating. And before 30 years ago, I didn't do that. No, I've not heard that Danny Harrison's "Damn That Frequency." What's the name? "Too Late for Goodbye" sounds exactly like a Double Fantasy outtake. I don't know. I don't know if it sounds like Double Fantasy material, but oh, I would never want to see this. Never, ever. Come on. Too bad Julian couldn't get together with the other three Beatles and do a concert. Julian would never do that, and I think it's really unfortunate to kind of like put that on him. And he would never do that, and he shouldn't. Wow, living in his father's shadow like that. He's had enough concern of that. But I mean, it's your opinion, but. Okay, another vote for damn that frequency. Ah. So here's Martin with his negativity. Martin comes in again, the troll that he is. He loves when I call him a troll. And right away comes in and he starts like, you know, saying, "Can we move away from this talk, John?" Why? Because you don't like it? Can't you just simply say, "I don't think it would be a good idea personally for that either. I don't like that idea. I think it's not a good idea." What are you gonna come in and like try to be like that for? Can we talk about the Who and the Kinks' role in the British invasion? They put out monster albums during that 67 to 72 Magic album period. Uh, yeah, I mean, they're okay with me, but I like the Who and the Kinks. So, yeah, there's always rumors that they're going to do this. The Beatles' sons would form a Beatle band. Okay, let's see. Yep. I feel for the kids of big stars that way. Wolfie Van Halen really struggles with it too. Hello, George. Yep, agreed. Morning, Chris. Thoughts on Red Rose Speedway? I agree with you. I don't like to say worst, but it's definitely one of my least favorite Paul albums. I don't think Paul really found his footing yet. I think he was still trying to find his identity after the Beatles, and I just like a few songs on it. What's my favorite meal? My favorite meal always has been and always will be any kind of pasta. It's stuff that I don't. I mean, I don't have pasta much anymore. Tonight we're going to an Italian restaurant. I may have pasta, but obviously, coming from an Italian family, well, you know, I had a lot of I love my favorite thing, carbs. No surprise, is it? But carbs, tomato sauce, cheese, love that stuff, and dessert. Dessert is. I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite dessert, but chocolate mousse. I don't know, maybe. No, well, no. I always heard all this crap about Michaels of Brooklyn. I've talked about this once before, at least. Whenever I listen to Breakfast with the Beatles with Ken Dashow, he promotes Michaels of Brooklyn sauce. So one day we actually came across a jar in the supermarket, so we picked it up. I hated it, that sauce. But then again, there's many. I don't remember what kind I had. I think we just had the regular, nothing fancy. Yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't do anything for me. Good morning, Bob. What do you say? What do you say? What do you know? What do you hear? What do you say? Okay, come on, folks. Let's go. Let's go, go, go. Well, this is almost what? How old? This is like an hour and 44 minutes old, so it's going to be ice cold. Ah, yeah. The end of my peppermint tea. My friend, the end. This is the end. Come on, folks. Do you hold that Milk and Honey is not a John Lennon album since he was dead before it was released? If anything, it's a Yoko album. How do you know John would want those songs released? I'm pretty sure that John would intend to release those songs. The only thing is, had John lived, he wouldn't have wanted. He probably wouldn't use those mixes. They were like run-throughs. They were like guide songs. They weren't the finished versions. But John, when he was doing his interviews, said we've already. The quote that he said is, uh, you know, we already have the next album done, and we already got the third album. So in other words, he in his mind, Milk and Honey was already like going to be the next album. So I think he already. How do you know they didn't talk? Him and Yoko didn't talk about what the next album will have. I'm stepping out on it. It'll have Borrowed Time on it. It'll have these songs on it. The next album. How do you know they didn't talk about that? You know, the John Lennon acoustic album is a nice album. It's a nice, it's a nice album. It's a nice album of unusual songs played on acoustic, of course. Uh, there you go. You're the only one who doesn't think this is livened up. Well, maybe there's other people who don't think either, but I don't think I need zingers necessarily to liven this up a bit. My friend, the end. Joe, sonically, is the new Red and Blue better than the early release? I am now debating buying the 6 LP set. I think his sound is much better. You don't forget, when the first everybody like praises the Red and Blue album from 1973. John Lennon himself said that he didn't like the mixes on there, that you had to set too much stereo panning, separation. So I think the mix is better than the original mix. That's my opinion, but not everybody agrees with that, obviously. So there you go. If John wasn't killed, nobody told me he was intended for Ringo's "Stop and Smell the Roses" album. Well, we don't know that 100%. We do not know that 100%. I know there's an outtake where John says this one's for Ringo or something like that. But I don't think there was anything in stone that was going to be put on there for Ringo. Another thing is the song "Life Begins at 40" was supposedly gonna that song "Life Begins at 40" was supposedly gonna be on Ringo "Stop and Smell the Roses" album. But but yeah, nobody told me could have been a Ringo song. But so what? Let it go. I'm talking about Eddie. Eddie, just let it go, man. Whatever. You know, John Lennon didn't intend "Now and Then" to be finished or put on as a Beatles song, but it's a wonderful song. You know. Uh, yes, there are rumors that Paul's been working on a new album. I just know them as rumors. That's it right now. Yes, in John Lennon's last interview, he said he has enough material for 2 more albums. Yes, he did. Martin says Mind Games video is great to go with his best solo song. Heard somewhere that say that was whatever gets you through the night video. Right. Originally that's all that footage in Central Park was shot and used in the whatever gets you through the night video, and then later Yoko swapped it for Mind Games, and I agree. I think it fits Mind Games much better. Well, the footage also works for whatever gets you through the night as well. But I kind of prefer it for Mind Games as it is now. I like Nobody Told Me. It's a very different sounding John song. It's kind of a goofy and novelty kind of fun song like that. So I like it. Okay, folks, what's going on as we come to probably our last moments here. Maybe another 15 minutes or so, like that, maybe, if you like. Yeah, Paul never runs out of ideas for songs. He is a musical genius. He is a songwriting genius, no doubt about that. I love the song he just dashed off a song for Ringo's EP, Rewind Forward. Is it Feeling the Sunlight? And I love the song. The guy still has melodies he comes up with. It's incredible. Yes, indeed. The Green Vinyl 45. Happy Christmas. War is over. I just heard my girlfriend scream in the other room, "Oh my God, you gotta be effing kidding me." Which must mean she did something. She tends to drop things a lot, make, clumsy things and stuff, and I hope nothing bad happened. But pretty soon I'll know soon enough because I'm going to be getting off here and then I'll see what happened. I don't know if you heard that, if that came through. But if it came through, it came through, and that's fun. Okay, good seeing you here, Lingo. Yeah, Bob Dylan has a lot of respect for Paul's great songwriting ability. Okay, Walrus says Joan Jett's new song "Whiskey Goes Good" off of her new album "Mindsets" comes out tonight at midnight on her YouTube channel. It's a very good tune. I seen her perform it live back in August. Very interesting. Well, I actually did. I've heard all those new songs off Mindsets, and I'm not going to comment on them until the physical copy comes out. And supposedly, Record Store Day, Black Friday, Joan Jett's going to have her new vinyl album out, or EP or whatever it is, for Mindsets. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to start going now, folks. Okay. This has been a blast, as it always is. I love coming here. Try to do it every morning. There'll be mornings when I don't do it. I may, get tired of this or whatever. Right now, everybody's enjoying it, and I appreciate everybody for being here. As always, this is great. Have a good day if you're just starting your day. I hope you had a good day if you're finishing your day. And I'll be talking to you all soon. You can bet on that. Cheers, everybody.